So it seems like Rolex is always fighting some type of legal battle, whether it's someone's going after them or they're going after someone else. I don't know if you guys have heard of the $100 million fine that Rolex is actually dealing with right now in France. One of their ADs is suing Rolex because Rolex doesn't allow the online sale of their timepieces. I don't know if some of you guys haven't noticed, but if you go on some of Rolex authorized dealers' websites, you're not able to purchase a Rolex timepiece online, which is the reason why they have been fined $100 million. Now, this case, I've brought it up. I've made 2 videos on this topic, and I've been waiting for updates on this matter, but I haven't been able to find any updates. So I came up with my own story that the judges or whoever is in charge of this legal case did an under the table deal with Rolex, because Rolex seems to be a large, powerful company. So I came up with my own story that Rolex did an under the table deal with the judges or whoever is in power. We all know of the list and how difficult it is to get some of these timepieces. So the judge may be a Rolex fanboy, and he's now able to get all the timepieces he wants, even the off-catalog pieces, and he just decided to, wipe away this whole lawsuit, and Rolex is back to normal. I don't know. That's just a joke. That's just a story in my own mind. But I'm still waiting for an update on this legal case, and hopefully it's soon. I know legal cases go on for years sometimes, so hopefully we get an update on that matter. But while I was looking for that update, I came across 2 other legal battles that Rolex is actually dealing with. And these 2 is actually Rolex going after these brands. The first one is called, the first company is Artisan de Genève. And we could just call them ADG. And that's how they refer to them in the article. This is a company that customizes Rolex timepieces. I don't know if you guys have seen any of their pieces, but I'll put some up on the screen so you could actually see. They're almost like, if you think about the cars that we drive, you take them into a shop and they put different rims on it, just update and customize and modify the cars. And that's kind of what they do with timepieces. So they'll change the dial, they'll change the bezel, they'll add diamonds to the hour markers, they'll do things like that to improve the timepiece. But in this legal battle, Rolex actually lost, and the courts actually allowed this company to continue with their business model and making and customizing and personalizing these watches for their customers. So I'm going to read a piece of the article so you guys can actually understand what's going on. And it says, on January 19th, the Swiss Federal Supreme Court ruled that ADG can personalize watches at the request and on the behalf of the watch's owner, and only for their personal, not commercial use. However, the courts also ruled that ADG cannot market or advertise modified products with another brand's trademark without consent, with limited exceptions. So overall, that's just to say, whatever they were doing prior, ADG was doing, they're allowed to continue doing. And I guess overall, Rolex lost. It seems like Rolex really doesn't like companies to customize. They don't like aftermarket things on their timepieces or modified pieces. It seems like, I understand it. I honestly understand it. I can't even argue with Rolex for doing what they're doing. And it continues to read, however, in light of its decision, the court sent the issue for whether ADG's marketing and advertising violates applicable laws back to the lower court for reconsideration. It's the first time the Swiss Supreme Court has considered this issue of personalization and customization, and it could have long-term effects on Rolex, ADG, and the watch industry more broadly. Interesting. So take what you want from that article, guys. Rolex is always suing people and being sued clearly. I want to actually go to the other article where Rolex won an injunction when it came to a legal battle with BeckerTime. If you guys have ever heard of that authorized dealer. This was a case that started way back in 2020, and there was an update in January of this year, 2024. And of course, this is a US battle. Let me just get straight to the point. This case dates back to September 2020 when Rolex sued BeckerTime alleging counterfeiting and trademark infringement of US of Rolex's trademarks in connection with the advertising, promotion, service, and sales of unauthorized watches and watch parts. BeckerTime sells pre-owned watches that contain Rolex parts. It sells and identifies these watches as genuine Rolexes, but the watches contain both Rolex and non-Rolex parts. So almost like a Franken watch. If you guys have ever heard me mention that term in some of my previous videos, it's just a watch where maybe the dial isn't original. It's like an aftermarket dial, but everything else is authentic. They may modify the dial. It may be an original dial, but just change the hour markers to diamond or from stick to Roman to just modifications. So like I said, Rolex really just hate the customization and modifications of their timepieces, and they do not want their authorized dealers or any companies to sell watches like these. So I'll continue. In this case, the watches at issue were customized by BeckerTime in various ways, including refinishing the dial by drilling holes in them, placing aftermarket diamonds as hour markers, and applying non-Rolex aftermarket bands or straps with the Rolex trademark. Man, Rolex is really, really on it, because those are decent timepieces, especially like I understand, like let's say a Rolex Datejust. Some people would put an aftermarket leather strap on it and have a aftermarket buckle that have the Rolex logo on it, the crown, and that's okay. Like if I'm a customer and I go into BeckerTime and that's an AD or any other AD, Mayors, and they have a timepiece like that, I don't mind it. Aftermarket strap is normal to me, as long as everything on the watch, the actual head, the movement, the dial, that is authentic. And as long as it's disclosed as well, that's also important. But Rolex is really on top of things when it comes to their ADs and companies out there that's selling their timepieces. And I'm not really going to continue too much on it, but pretty much my point is Rolex have a lot of legal cases. Their lawyers are busy in fighting cases and going after people, and it's something that's hopefully all going to be resolved. And I really just want to get the update on that $100 million fine that's over Rolex's head right now by one of the ADs. So I really could understand why ADs will be going at Rolex for certain things, because it seems like Rolex is, I want to say petty, but Rolex is petty because Rolex is suing ADs, ADs is suing Rolex, and it's just back and forth where I think they just need to resolve certain issues. They could just do it amicably without taking legal action. But anyways, guys, comment down below your opinion on those 3 legal cases that Rolex is dealing with right now. If you guys have heard about them, comment down below. And if you guys actually get an update on that, fine, let me know. Comment down below, because I couldn't find it. Thanks for watching, guys. Remember, give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. And stay tuned for some more videos.